Hello? Hello, and welcome to another retro video game stream on original hardware. Tonight, I expect that this will be the final part of the multi-part series where we played through the Legend of Zelda on the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's been fun revisiting this game. I loved playing this when I was young. It's an absolute classic. It's one of the best action RPGs ever made. It influenced so many games that came after it. It was heavily influenced by Atari's Adventure. I'm not sure where I would rank The Legend of Zelda overall in the pantheon of important video games, but it's got to be in the top 10 or top 15 greatest games ever made. Certainly most important games ever made. One of my favorite things about The Legend of Zelda is that it is so much fun to just play. The gameplay itself is, fun. Running around, exploring, killing the monsters and gathering rupees and collecting the items. A lot of these older RPG games from the era, like Final Fantasy, they seem a little clunky by today's standards. There's things that are sort of imbalanced about them. But I like Final Fantasy a lot. I think it's a really good game and a classic as well. I played a lot more of computer role-playing games at the time compared to console RPGs. And so, my experiences with computer and video game RPGs were like the Ultima series, which you can see I have some of those back here. Ultima 3 and 4 for my Atari 8-bit computer. I loved playing those games as a little kid too, and just running around and getting experience and defeating monsters and stuff. But Zelda being kind of the original action RPG like that, where you're not really taking turns, you don't have a party, you're just kind of slashing with your sword and doing things in real time. I don't think there were many games really like that in that era. Obviously, Adventure is a little bit like that, but it's pretty primitive. There are games like Gauntlet and stuff like that were popular in the arcade that are sort of like that, but there's very tiny RPG elements to those sorts of games. And so The Legend of Zelda, brings together a lot of the really fun elements about building your character and establishing, new equipment and leveling up to some degree, although there actually aren't any levels, so to speak, in Zelda. You just basically get new gear and then increase your health total. But all those things came together in a really unique and interesting way that was kind of lightning in a bottle. It was Nintendo's first save cartridge, because The Legend of Zelda in Japan was a disc-based game. They had a disc system for the Famicom in Japan, and if you wanted to save your game, you had to have the disc system. So when the time came to release it in the United States, they included a battery save system. And no joke, this is the original battery. I have not replaced the battery in my Zelda game. I've replaced batteries in other games that have gone bad. I recently replaced the battery in my F-Zero game. The battery finally conked out on that. This game is probably at least 4 years older than the F-Zero game, because I think this came out in 86 and F-Zero came out in 91 or 90. So, it was released during that time, so it's probably 3 to 4 years older than F-Zero, and it's still going. Every time I turn on the system, though, with the cartridge in there, I'm kind of like, oh, I sure hope our save games are still there. So part of the reason I wanted to play through the game again and then eventually beat it on stream was because I'm probably going to replace the battery in this, and that will most likely erase all the save games. So I might figure out a way of I think you can attach a battery with a couple like alligator clamps to the spot where you need to resolder the new battery and potentially save your save game. I just want to get to a point where it won't matter if I screw that up or not. So hopefully, we'll finish the game tonight and celebrate with the defeat of Ganon. So anyway, without too much more, introduction here, I would like to say thanks for tuning in and watching all these mini sessions. It's been a lot longer than I thought it would have been, although it's been a lot of fun. I don't think I'll be playing any more many multi-session games like this, at least not for a while. One of the things I like to do when I play retro games is I like to sort of enjoy them quickly and, just sit down for a little bit of time and kind of play through a game. Games on the Atari are perfect for that. You can play an Atari game for 10 minutes and have a good time. Shoot 'em ups, one of my favorite genres. Again, you can play through a shoot 'em up in a short amount of time and, have a good time. It's one of the things I like about doing when I come home from work to unwind is a quick gameplay experience. A game like Legend of Zelda or Final Fantasy, that takes time commitment. Oh, just play it, bro. Yes. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to get started. Enough history. Enough nostalgia, right? Let's get on with the game. So, we're missing one more item. We're missing the silver arrow. And truthfully, I had to look up where it was. Although now, after I briefly looked it up, I knew immediately where it was. It was an area in the upper left part of the map where it didn't seem like you could go anywhere. It looked like it was a dead end. And so I should have just thought, oh, of course, there's a block that you have to push here to find something. And I can't believe I didn't remember that, or even just remember that that's the kind of thing. There's very few, like, just straight dead ends in Zelda. There are some, and they're usually, like, filled with monsters, and they just try to, take some health away or whatever. But anyway, I should have known better. And so we'll hopefully be able to retrace our steps and pick up the silver arrow. All right. Let's get to it here. I talked about this on all the other streams leading up to the final dungeon. It's disappointing that the red ring only comes at the very end, because it's such a huge advantage to be able to take so little damage from enemies with the red ring. But I don't know if they expect you to be able to get to the red ring without completing all the other dungeons, and so maybe their thinking was people would get various things out of order. That maybe somehow they would find level 9 and then, get to some of the items to complete. I'm not sure. I can't remember if when I played this as a kid, if I played it necessarily where I did things out of order or not. I know that were definitely times where I found levels ahead of time, but usually what I would do is I'd be like, oh, this is level 3, I need level 2. I will go and find level 2. This is the wrong level. So, I guess you could, in theory, do Zelda completely non-linear, in a non-linear fashion, which, might be fine. It'd be interesting to try that sometime. I know there's people that try to beat the game with just the basic sword that you get. People call it the wooden sword. It's just called sword in the manual. I don't know if it's supposed to be rusty or whatever, but there's also people who try to beat it without the sword at all, which seems impossible. But people have done it. I guess once you get the candle, you have a way to hurt things. And then the bow. And of course the wand. Alright. So I'm pretty sure I remember how to get to where we need to go here. Now see, I might be eating my own words here, because I think you can't get past this room without the Triforce, or all the pieces of the Triforce. So I don't think you can get the red ring ahead of time. Ugh, I hate those things. Likes. A friend of mine reminded me of the names of all the various enemies in the game that I've been getting wrong. Those things are slimes. They're not Goas. Or whatever they're called. Goas, I think. I am not going to mess with these whiz robes. I hate whiz robes. They're the worst. No! There's my shield gone. Okay. Well, that's terrible. I think I'm just gonna restart it. I know that's kind of cheap, but I don't want to buy another shield. Sorry. We're gonna use the reset. Restore the shield option. I don't think you can take on Ganon at the end with a small shield because the statues are, you know, constantly blasting away. And that was stupid of me to go in there anyway, like that. I should have just... I don't know. I'm excited. I want to beat the game. And truthfully, it's not that far of a walk to Death Mountain. Although, actually, we could use some more bombs. Although, I guess we technically don't need any more bombs. I think we've bombed everywhere we need to go. Well, I'm asking you, ye shall receive some more bombs here. It's important that I take needless hits here. That's good. Keeping up with my dubious perfect gameplay. Alright. No more likes. No more likes. Breaking my own rules here and messing around in ways I shouldn't. Alright. Now, I mentioned earlier how I looked up where the silver arrow was. I've been trying to play this game entirely from memory, and I've only looked things up twice now. The other time was I couldn't remember where level 9 was. I knew that it was in a mountain area, and I looked all over the map trying to remember where that was, where there were 2 mountain spots where you have to bomb. So I mean, I could remember what it looked like, but I couldn't remember where it was. So I looked all over the place, and of course, it was like the one place that I didn't look. So rather than waste a lot of time wandering all over the map, I thought, well, I'll just, you know, I'll take a look. And the same thing for the silver arrow. I just could not remember where it was. But once I had that hint about where it was, I should have known. Nice. Always nice to get the, These goers are rich. Okay, now I gotta remember. I think I have to go left to here. To there's like a stairwell in the middle of the room. I think this takes me to where I need to go. Yes. Okay. I don't know why I'm messing around with this guy. Because I hate whiz robes. Parting shot. I do have to kill these guys, though. Alright. And here we go. This is where the block is. Yes. Now, to get to Ganon. Apparently, I was reading on another forum about how I guess you can use the second controller to save the game without dying in Zelda. I did not know that. But I'm not going to try. I think we're just going to go straight for Ganon. Alright, now if I remember, you have to get to the top part of the map to go through the stairwell to get to Ganon, and I'm trying to remember how to do that. You get to go up here and then left. Wand is great for wiping out those things. Is this right? Yeah, I think so. Ugh, I want the fairy. right. Kill all the likes for good measure. I think we're here. I think this is it. Alright. I might as well not use my potion. Just have to hit him enough times that he turns red, I think is what I remember. You have to, like... Yeah. You have to just kind of, like, hit him. It's one more. I guess the shield doesn't even stop those hits. We did it! Yes! We did it. Pile of ash is all that remains. Princess Zelda! Thanks, Link. You're the hero of Hyrule. Ah! Finally, Peach returns to Hyrule. This ends the story. Designer was 1010. I don't know that name. Ah, yes, the second quest. Well, we're going to bask a little bit in the glory of having defeated Ganon just for a moment here. But, yes, I did want to talk a little bit about second quest. I have never beaten second quest, and I know practically nothing about it. So I would like to play second quest sometime on stream. If I end up switching the battery out on this, I obviously wouldn't be able to do that directly, but I might wait. Who knows? Second quest, my understanding is it's not really necessarily harder. It's just they've switched everything around. So, you know, all of your knowledge about where the levels are, where the items are and stuff is all completely scrambled, which is kind of cool. It's cool that they included a second quest in the game that if you wanted to keep playing, you could. I always thought that was something really nice about this game in particular, as if it wasn't already good enough, that they give you a whole second quest to complete if you want. Like, here you go, here's a bonus game. So, greatly appreciate that. We'll go ahead and press the start button. Notice the sword